Lottie, as we have been the last couple weeks, uh, we are covering the boys as the season moves along. We're on to episode 5. What I think is it 5 out of 10 or 5 out of 8? Do you know? Do you know?
Usually the boys have about 12 episodes.
I wonder. I'm
It's
not
usually
sure.
12. It's usually like 12 or 13 episodes. The boys.
Yeah. Well, we're at the very least I believe we're at least at the halfway point. If not, we're just a little short of the halfway point. Um, but and that's fitting for this episode, episode 5, which I feel like it's a bit of a. I don't want to say it's a bit of a breather. Like the first 4 episodes have been real, pedal to the metal, like a lot of movement and all that stuff. And so this was a bit of a. I want to say a recharge or not recharge, but like a bit of a reset in the middle of the season. Uh, and so Lottie, you saw the episode. The episode is called what is it called? The last time to look on this world of lies, and it's about you know the new state of affairs at Vought with Homelander running the show, and then A Train and Blue Hawk sort of they have their meeting of the minds, and like it kind of of course goes to crap. The boys they're back stateside and sort of trying to figure out what to do about uh, what's his name, Soldier Boy's return, uh, and there's and Starlight's is back on the scene, and her and Hughie are sort of having their difficulties, and of course we see more with the female Kimiko and Frenchie, and they're as she's trying to recover. So there's a lot going on in here, but also again it was sort of a bit of a breather episode. So Lottie, what did you think about that episode, and what were your highlights, and or maybe some things you didn't quite like?
So I have highlights and lowlights. And lowlights not in like it was bad. It's just parts of the thing that just made me just want to throw a fist. So I'm gonna bring this up first. This woman left mother's milk for this piece of shit. I'm a This woman left mother's milk for this piece of shit. He's like, Homelander's a good person. He's doing this. He's doing this. He's trying to indoctrinate a black girl into racism. And then he says, well, hold up. Maybe shouldn't you be careful around the girl? That's his daughter. You get the.
Mm.
Me and my cousins both said that at the same time. I'm like, I want to punch this motherfucker in the face. And this woman left him for him?
Look,
Jesus
to be
Christ.
fair to her, Mother's Milk,
Nah.
he's a lot, and especially
I know that. But for this guy, that's what I'm saying. She left him for this guy.
Yeah.
That's the thing that just gets me. So here's my other. So going past that, my another highlight is that I kind of was right that Huey is now he's obsessed with power, and I understand why he wants it because he wants to feel like he could protect Starlight. But like Starlight says, I don't need some muscular person to protect me. I need somebody that I can confide to emotionally.
Mhm.
And Huey's not understanding that, but I can understand where he comes from because he saw one of his, the love of his life die in front of him and he couldn't do anything about it. He doesn't want to see the next one die.
Right.
Next one, Frenchie just can't catch a break. Every time it seems like his life is getting better, something terrible happens. And now he's kidnapped by old chick. And it's just I just want him. I just was like, what's her name finally? What's her name? Kumiko?
Yeah.
Kumiko finally was able to speak some words and now he's captured. So I'm already calling it now. She's going to get her powers back and rip
Yeah.
old Russian chick in half.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot going on in this episode. I'm not gonna say too many spoilers before we can actually do some like serious spoilers, but I enjoyed the kind of the less stressed version of this show because I've been stressed out every time I watch this damn show. Just Anthony Starr is just he's killing it so hard as Homelander that I'm just like, it's just me. It's just got me on edge. So it's
Hmm.
nice to see a little less of that. I really enjoyed the whole Winter Soldier aspect of Soldier Boy. Um, I really liked. I loved the little. And this is not really a spoiler. This was in the trailer for the episode. The little song and dance bit. I thought
Yeah.
that was a great little, just like a breather within the
Oh
episode.
shit.
And then, like, just as you expect in this episode, as you expect, Homelander's a terrible CEO. Like,
Yeah.
and I want to draw attention to this. Again, this isn't spoilers. This is just talking about some things that the creator of the show and the writers. If y'all don't look, we don't live in a subtle age. Can we agree with that? This is not an age for
Hmm.
subtlety. People are apparently too dense or too slow to get allegory or subtext or any of that shit. And there's a lot of complaining about that, but you know what? This is not a time for subtlety. People need to be slapped in the face with the shit that's going on or their terribleness, because tiptoeing around their fucking feelings has not worked. So let's be honest about this show. This show is not tiptoeing around anybody's fucking feelings. And you know whose
No.
feelings they are especially not tiptoeing around is Trump supporters. If you're a hey, if you're a Trump supporter, you understand this show is coming hard for you. How do I know this? Am I just digging this out of my ass or something like that? Am I just projecting my own political leanings onto this? Nope. It's coming straight from the words of the creator of the show, Eric Kripke, that Homelander is Trump. He's literally, and look at the way it plays out, right?
Hmm.
I mean, he gets super popular with loser ass dudes like Mother's Milk's his ex wife's new man. This these beta omega males, these cucked males as they like to say, who would feel empowered by seeing some dude like him be like, I'm unapologetic in my shittiness. My shittiness is actually good, and the people that tell me I'm shitty are bad, right? If you feel the exact same way as me, you're equally as powerful as me. All this other stuff. He assumes control through bluster and just, I mean, obviously he's the strongest man in the room, but he assumes control and just assumes that whatever the fuck he says must be right, and everyone just needs to hop to. But fucking surprise, he gets to run the company, and he's terrible at it.
Yep.
He's trash at it, right? He's trash at the things that Stan Edgar was good at. He sucks at, right? And
Yep.
you can see it, and no one's gonna fucking say anything because they're afraid of him, afraid of what he can unleash on them, right? It's literally like everything I'm saying. If you took the superpowers out, was what Trump was about, right? And so you got everyone that's around him is all they are doing is kissing ass and being scared and whatever, and then relishing their small little victories over other people rather than actually doing a fucking good job or trying to rein in his stupidity.
Hmm.
You know, I love that about this show. Whatever your political leanings, be clear here. They're going hard. They're going hard hell. I see some shit they're going at me on. I'm fine. I get that. But
This show is a compilation of going after every stupid community slash not even stupid communities, but mostly the stupid communities in the world. The red pill community, the I hate all men community, they're going after the Trump supporter community, the um the blacks that say black people need to do better community. Like they're going after every single one of them, and it's just they're just swinging absolute haymakers at them. And sometimes it's a subtle jab. Then the next punch will just knock you off your feet.
Yeah.
And I love it about it. And it's like you said, they pick on some people like us that are nerds, and we're like, hey man, you don't gotta pick on us like this. And I just, but it's great. This is what I love about the show. And the one I just remembered it. They went after simps. What's it? There's a superhero OnlyFans. I
I
was like, this
love.
show.
And did you see it? And it was Seth Rogen was on it. I was like, hey, yo, that I when I saw it and I saw what was, I was like, this chick was supposed to be a premier superhero. Now she's just doing she's doing like, she's doing what do you call it? What's the hell of that? She's doing one of these chatterbait or something like that.
Yeah.
I was like, no, yo, I'm not gonna carry on too much longer on the non-spoiler, but man, this episode went in.
Yeah.
Even at a slower pace, it went in. There was some. I mean, there was even some changes in Hughie and Starlight's relationship. We saw the link to which Butcher will go. We saw Maeve. It was just like she's giving no fucks, right?
Yeah.
And Homelander doesn't care. Like look, there's just levels to this. I say that every week, but there's so many levels to this, and this show's just fantastic. Best superhero show on TV,
Yep.
I think, and I whenever I see people that don't like it, I'm just like, I don't know what y'all are watching, because this is on point. So anyway, those are our non-spoiler thoughts. We're gonna get into some spoilers right now. So if you haven't seen it, go and watch this show. What are you doing? Go watch the show. All right. All right, Ladi, let's do some spoilers. Fuck, you know what? One of the main things that stood out in my mind in this episode, there's a bunch of stuff, but A-Train being the worst possible ambassador for racial healing. He sucks. Like, I cannot wait for someone to kill him. And the thing is, he's trying to do what he considers to be the right thing, but he's so fucking shallow that he can't
Yep.
even pull it off. He's so shallow he can't realize. He's like, this Blue Hawk guy, he's fine. This Blue Hawk is clearly racist.
Clearly.
And so just like, just do an apology or something. And then it turns into, and then I love the whole, at the end, he was talking about the agitators and all that. Blue Hawk is quite honestly an undisguised police officer, a terrible police officer, a toxic, racist, the one of the so-called bad apples. So supposedly the few bad apples, but man, it's funny how he sounds like an awful lot of motherfucking police officers. And I thought that was some grade A rubbing your fucking nose in it satire, and I loved it. It's one of my highlights. But I mean, other shit. There's so much other shit going on in this episode. What's one for you? What's some for you?
So, like I said, I talked. It's like just to quickly finish up what you were saying too. It's just as unfortunate that his brother has to pay for the consequences of A-Train's idiotic stupidity. Just fucking dumbass.
Fuck that guy. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I can't believe, how dare y'all? And I love and hate them for making me want the black guy to be dead. But I can't.
Exactly.
I can't wait till this motherfucker gets killed. Like I fucking hate him. Congratulations, you guys. Y'all made me hate the black guy.
And honestly, I remember I was talking to my friend Anthony about this. They got us rooting for an absolute piece of shit. And that is, what's his name? Soldier Boy. And I was telling Maurice, he's worse than Homelander. And he was like, "What do you mean?" I said, "Bruh, the man rapes little kids." And he's like, "What do you want? What?" He was like, "Yeah, he has sexually violated all of his um, what's it called,
Now,
sidekicks."
this in the comic, or they were just.
No, it happened in the show.
Well, I know that they meant that about the guy, the his sidekick on there. I know that, but yeah, this it's the. I mean, he's old. He's clearly racist, right?
Yep, he's
And
racist. What's so crazy about it is he's homophobic, but he's homosexual.
well, and I actually sort of hate that if I'm being honest.
Yeah,
I hate that aspect of it because that's a trope that really needs to stop. Like the idea that all the people who are the most knee jerk homophobic are secretly gay. That's sort of that has the same energy as, oh, Hitler was actually his grandmother was Jewish, and I'm like, as if like, oh, is a Jewish person is actually killing Jews. Like I fucking hate that. But
yeah.
we'll see. I'll reserve judgment on that. I hate that trope. It's ridiculous, and it's used too much. But Starlight and Hughie are on the rocks. They might even be done, you know, and
Yeah.
that's because and who's right? Let me ask you, who is right in this particular situation? I'm not so sure it's clear.
Neither are right because they have to stop Homelander. You know what I mean? Someone has to stop Homelander. The only thing that I felt like Huey was just being very, very is that it's like what's her name said. You're helping a piece of shit. There's another way. This is where Huey. This is the problem with Huey and Butcher. Their anger and rage for Soups is so intense that they're willing to help a piece of shit kill a piece of shit instead of trying to find the better way and look for the better way. They feel the only way, because this person just killed hundreds of people earlier
All
that
right,
day.
yeah, and I don't, sort of on accident maybe, but
But still, though,
and murdered his ex girlfriend who clearly sold him out. Like, is there? You just have to wonder. Aside from Starlight and maybe Supersonic, are any of the soups worth a damn? Because it seems like all of them are shitty. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's
yeah,
Crimson Countess got barbecued or whatever um, by Soldier Boy for selling him out to go to the Russians.
yep,
And apparently, probably Stan Edgar had something to do with that. Um, but yeah, I get it. He's feeling like he's had no power, and there's the decks is stacked against them. All sides are being played. The soups are being protected. They've got to level the playing field. He's not wrong, and it sort of annoys me that Starlight doesn't recognize that because look, it's got her talk about how to do things, how to do things. It's got the same energy as like someone who's never faced discrimination.
exactly. I agree.
Talking about the right way to protest. I mean, in some ways, I'm like, yeah, in your maybe for you, maybe it's maybe for you, but for us, this is shit's a bit more immediate. You know?
Exactly, because the thing about it is, I'm not saying Starlight is right, and I completely agree. She comes from, like you said, she reminds me of that one person who's Caucasian who has a bunch of black friends that go like, uh, you shouldn't be too upset about this because this person will fix it. Wait, hold up. You don't have to go through this because, like, at the end of the day, Starlight is a soup. As long as she just listens to Homelander, she's fine.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else can get like Homelander wants to kill Butcher and what's his name?
Huey.
Huey. He wants them dead. So it's like I said, it's just they're stuck in a very very hard place, which I didn't think they could raise the stakes more than they could raise the stakes prior, but the stakes are pretty high, and
Yeah,
I'm enjoying every last minute of it. Oh
yeah.
man, this is going to be good.
I I really like that they introduced the legend, the guy that made the comic book stories, and he's just like an old school like Hollywood executive. You know, I he was a fun little addition to the story. I hope he shows up later on, and he points to like the next clue of where they could go. Um, I liked the Soldier Boy thing. You know, he's the weapon, and they figure that out. Uh, Butcher keeps making decisions to fuck the boys up, you know, to ruin the crew.
Yeah,
You know, with drugging mother's milk and everything like that, which was I understood where he was coming from. Um, what's and of course like we were saying earlier, you know, uh, Homelander just his tighten his grip on it, and everyone sees that he's the worst possible person to be running things, but they're gonna keep on, you know, towing the line with Ashley, you know, kicking out Starlight, you know, all that stuff. It's just he's a force, he's a presence even when he's not on screen, and it's pretty great in my mind. I'm just like, how are y'all gonna dig yourself out of this? And obviously they're gonna have to do a side quest to get Frenchie back and everything. But how are they gonna dig themselves out of this hole? Because the hole's pretty damn deep right now, as far as I can see, and it's not clear that they're gonna get out before they get buried. You know. So and I'm like, God dang it, Starlight and Hughie, can y'all save this bullshit for later? Am I right? Can y'all just
yeah,
save it for later? Because this is not the time for any of that shit.
yeah.
Like at all. So anyway, I really like this episode, and I'm really looking forward to the next episode. So I think that's all of our thoughts for this episode. So what did you guys think about this episode of the? I keep saying this episode. I don't know why. What did y'all think about episode 5 of The Boys? And what do you think about what we had to say? Get down to the comment section. Let us know what you're thinking. Of course, you can always hit us up, supernotfunnyshow@gmail.com or at supernotfunnys1 on Twitter. All right, all you Fabricans and Fleshbags, I've been Mo De Pupe, your resident fabricant and comic extraordinaire on all things pop culture, joined by the anime expert, video game designer, and lover of all things superhero, my good friend Ladi. And we'll see you guys on the other side of the thread. Peace.
Peace.